My name's Mary W. Thompson. I am a tribal member with the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force. I'm a gardener, grandma, mom, and I'm a basket weaver. I'm an artist.
What?
Basket maker, I should say.
Let's talk about the role river cane played in Cherokee culture. How far back did the Cherokee use it, and what did they do with it?
I have read that 10,000 years ago, that some woven fibers were found in a salt marsh in Petite Assoun, Louisiana. And so the Cherokee and other tribes of the Southeast have been using native materials for basket making for 5,000, 10,000 years ago.
How did the Cherokee approach protecting and harvesting the cane to ensure its continued survival before the colonists came?
They did selective harvesting. They, they cut the mature cane, which was going to die back anyway, but that allowed for the younger shoots then to come through and to continue to protect the land and stabilize the riverbanks, but to be a resource utilized within the homes.
So how you harvest it actually helped to preserve it and protect it rather than the Western approach, which was going to cut everything down and then wonder why it's not there.
Right. You don't want to clear cut everything out. You need to do the sustainable harvesting and ensure that it continues to survive. It survived long before we got here.
How did the Cherokee express their gratitude to the cane? Was there an exchange of energy, of gifts? I know there was this concept that you don't take, you only take what's given to you. How did that work?
Well, now that how that worked would probably best be answered by someone else with a little more knowledge. I'm not sure what that give and take or the ceremonial or the gifts were. I feel though that just by being a sustainable harvester that you're contributing and giving back to the patch.
What caused river cane to be so rare today?
Man has caused river cane to be um, to be depleted as a resource. River cane likes waterfront property, and due to development and pollution and flooding, the land just isn't as healthy as it used to be.
Another thing too is that we're finding out as farmers start enlarging their crop land for planting like corn, they would mow it down as well, not knowing what they had.
Yeah, but and that's just the same. They're
Mm-hmm.
still clear cutting,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still wiping out the cane patches in lieu of farms or in lieu of views.
What are the Cherokee doing today to help restore it back to the land?
They're doing some revitalization
Can you
projects.
give some context to your answer?
Okay, the question again.
What are the Cherokee doing to help restore it back to the land? Cane back to the land.
Today, the Cherokee and the other southeastern tribes, along with a lot of conservationists, are trying to revitalize the cane stands for artisan supplies for us, sure, but also to mitigate the erosion along the stream banks. So there's a lot of interest and projects starting to develop, not just in western North Carolina, but probably all across the southeast United States. As far as I'm aware, they've established that cane breaks have been, or cane has grown from probably as far north as Indiana, all the way down through the Gulf, and from the Mississippi all the way across to the Atlantic Ocean. So it's been it has a wide land base, and we now realize that we need to reinvest in what it can do to help us with our water.
And I think it's important for people to understand too that it's the only native bamboo in the South. That all this bamboo that people plant takes over native stuff, where river cane lives in conjunction with it.
River cane is native to the southeastern United States, though it's a cousin to bamboo. And I think that's why I'm interested in the river cane, is because it's the more traditional of the southeastern basketry. Yes, bamboo is available, and yes, the folks that had that as a resource, they used it too. I mean, they weave baskets in Japan and China and in other countries where bamboo is native. It's a grass. We use it. It's a resource.
What else was river cane used in addition to basket making?
As far as I'm aware, it was used for weaponry, it was used for housing, it was used for roofing, it was used for um, just many other things besides just basketry. Wall mats, floor mats, sleeping mats.
Somebody, I think David Kozo told me when I interviewed him years ago that river cane was the plastic of the Cherokee. They could make almost anything with it, but it didn't pollute the planet like plastic does. So let's talk specifically about basket making for a minute. Well, we already talked about the basket, how far back basket making goes. How are basket makers observant of the health of the cane?
How are we observant to the health of the cane? I think just a little bit ago you kind of witnessed some of us trying to clear out some of the old cane so that it would give the newer cane a better chance of survival or better growth. Doing that, just harvesting the older, more mature, and allowing the younger ones to continue is about the quickest and easiest way for me to contribute to the survival of the patch.
By using cane in this way, how do the Cherokee people protect the balance of nature? You kind of answered that.
Yeah,
already.
I defer that to
We can
Gabe.
skip.
He has better answers.
Does making them double weaved help to keep the contents in that when baskets were originally used as for a utilitarian purpose?
The double weave basket was probably used more for storage of valuable, maybe ritual items, but even seeds would be considered a valuable item. The double weave could have been woven really tight, and sometimes maybe even beeswax used to seal it up, which would kind of help make it water resistant to keep whatever was inside of it dry and more stable.
Are there stories about being connected to river cane and to basket making that you're aware of?
There are, but I'll defer that to Gabe.
And Kathy Littlejohn told me the story of the mud dauber and May Lee and
Maylee and the mud dauber,
right.
as far as clay. Mm-hmm.
How far back does basket making go in your family?
In my family, basket making has gone back further than I know. Everyone wove baskets. It was utilitarian. We needed it for storage, for harvesting, for gathering, for everything. So all families had to know how to do that. They also made pottery. They also grew their gardens. Every family had to do everything. Now, as far as the river cane basketry, though, we have participated in a revitalization project that started about 20 years ago, when the Cherokee started to realize that our basket weavers and our resources were at risk of not surviving. So they did some classes. Mom, Lou, myself, my daughter, we all participated. While we were basket weavers and basket makers, our main resource was white oak and honeysuckle and other resources that the Cherokee came to use as they got pushed further back into the mountain and away from the River Cane. But so we learned to do the double weave. Yes, we'd always known how to do the single weave, but the double weave technique was something special and totally different. And it's now, I think, our favorite weaving technique.
It's less
Is
work.
it more complicated?
I think so.
When you first learn.
Yeah, but once you get it,
Once you get it, it's easy.
you got it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Why is it important to continue the tradition today?
Because it's part of our culture, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our, it's part of us to continue doing this. I think the more you do, the more you learn, the more you appreciate how your culture and your traditions and your identity and your language and your myths and your legends and your everything come full circle and all tie back together. It don't matter if it's the legend of Maylee and the Mud Dauber, if it's the legend of some of our dyes and things like that. That legend and that piece of art, well, now it's art, then it wasn't art, but now it's art. They fit together, they tie together. Some of the questions, though, that if I would like, Betty and Gabe to get their answers and get their input.
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
I just figure I do it one at a time.
Okay.
But when I do it with lots of people, particularly people who know each other well, they talk over each other, and it's hard to record. It's hard to use that in a film. So.
Right.
But
Okay.
I definitely want to talk to everybody.
Okay.
Anyone who wants to talk to me. What does it mean to your family?
Basket making, basket weaving, I think really means a lot to my family now because it's more of a carrying on the traditions. So what it means to our family to carry on the traditions is to be able to produce some art and artwork that is culturally significant to us as Cherokee people.
How does continuing the tradition connect you to your ancestors?
Continuing the tradition of the River Cane basketry connects me to my ancestors in a way that shows me how smart they were to be able to come up with and use this resource when there were no modern tools or modern conveniences. The hardships that they went through and the intelligence to use the resources that they had. I guess according to legend, that would have been taught to them by other animals and other kingdoms and other stories, but that they survived and they figured out ways to use the gifts that were here for them.
Anything else that I didn't ask you about that you want to mention?
There is one thing that I can do to kind of continue to pass on my cultures and traditions and to share and to teach. And if I can do that with my kids or your kids or anybody's kids, the schools, the students, if I can grab their interest a little bit and teach them something and they want to learn and are willing to learn, then I enjoy passing that on.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.